One of the first questions people ask after they figure out what type of diamond ring they want is how much is it going to cost? And some people even wonder how much should you spend on an engagement ring. So in this video, we're going to talk about your ring budget. And if you're new here, I'm Vanessa with Vanessa Nicola Jewels, where I create custom diamond rings for clients all over the world. And the first thing I want to say right off the bat is this: never purchase an engagement ring for investment purposes. It's an emotional investment, not a financial one. Okay, let's dive in. Oh, wait, before we do that, if you're serious about getting an incredible diamond ring, one that just lights up a room, definitely subscribe to my channel because I've helped millions of people with helpful knowledge about getting their perfect ring, and I just don't want you to miss any important insights that I share here. Okay, now let's dive in. The first step is determining a budget based on your preferred diamond size. And often clients come to me already having an idea of the size they want, so then it's simply a matter of whether or not their budget is aligned with that size. Now, knowing the general design you want to propose with, we talk about diamond quality options, which is going to make the price fluctuate up or down. So it doesn't matter if your budget is $5,000 or $150,000, it's all a balance of aligning your dream ring goals with your ideal price range. And honestly, every client's budget is unique to their personal situation. So if you were my client with a $20,000 budget, for example, once we determine that your desired size and design is an option within this price range, then I curate 3 gorgeous options in a range below and up to your max budget, so then you can decide if it makes sense to splurge at the top end or not. And if a client is just shy of hitting the carat weight that he wants to propose with, I'll explain what it would take to get there, and then he can decide if it makes sense for his financial situation, because he might consider slightly increasing the budget range, but ultimately it's always up to you. I advise clients not to spend more than they're comfortable with. It's just sometimes it's helpful to know what things cost as a baseline, so then you can make the most informed, confident decision for what number to end up at. Because I'm gonna make a gorgeous diamond ring for it either way, so the price of the ring is ultimately up to you when it comes to the custom ring. And if you're looking online or in stores and see pricing that just seems way too low for such a large diamond, it's likely because it's for a lab diamond. And you know, this is something that we never would have had to have a conversation about 5 years ago, which is just something new to the jewelry market. It's lab diamonds versus natural diamonds. The pricing between labs and naturals are totally different. So once you know what type of diamond you desire, then you'll be able to talk to your jeweler about the specific pricing for what you want. Now, I'm not gonna go over the differences between them here on this video because I've covered that extensively in several other helpful videos, and I'll link to those in the description below. But the reason that I bring it up is because your budget may support either one, but it also might not. For example, if you're set on going with a 3 or 4 carat natural diamond, but you have a $20,000 budget, it's not possible. So you would have to go with a lab grown to get that size within your budget. Now let's talk about future upgrades. I have clients who are in their late 20s all the way into their 70s. And from what I've seen at various stages of life, your ring budget, it's different. For example, when my husband and I got engaged, we were starting from scratch in life. And when we started dating, I was 18, he was 19, and we waited 8 years to get engaged after he finished law school, and he proposed with a gorgeous half-carat engagement ring that I absolutely love. And then on our 15th anniversary, I upgraded to a larger diamond because we were at a different place in life, and I still love and have my original, but at that point, my business was thriving and his work was established, and that's usually what I see when people transition from their late 20s to their late 30s. The point here is that there is zero correlation between the size of the diamond and the success of the marriage. If that's at all what you're worried about, thinking that maybe if you don't get a certain size, that it's gonna mean that you don't either love her as much or that you don't see your future as successful in some way, that honestly has nothing to do with it. Ultimately, it comes down to the thought that you put into it and the symbol of what this ring represents. And you wouldn't be the first person to bring that up if that did run through your mind, because sometimes people feel like they have to put this huge rock on their finger in order for it to mean something about the amount of their love, but that's not what this ring is about. And on a different note, many of my clients are women in their 50s who have raised their kids, and they're finally putting themselves first and exploring redesigning their ring. So she could use the same heirloom center stone and then redesign it to be more in line with her updated style preferences later on. And I have plenty of before and after redesign videos for you to take a look at if you're curious for how that works, which I'll link below as well. But whether you upgrade just the setting ring or the entire ring with a new larger diamond size. My point here is that there are options no matter what diamond size you start at. Another topic some clients have asked me about is what if she wants a ring that feels financially uncomfortable or just flat out one you can't afford? Because, some people might say, well, she should just be happy with whatever she gets, while others would say that she's waited a long time to get engaged and she wants it to be her dream ring. And, if that's the case, you should sit down and have a candid conversation with her about expectations and what makes sense, because, that's important. And, your partner and you should be managing your financial situations openly together, just in case there's a disconnect, especially at the beginning of a marriage. Whether or not you can have a conversation with her entirely depends on if this is going to be a surprise ring or if she's involved in the creation process, which a lot of our clients are involved at some degree. And if she is involved, you could start off the conversation just by being honest that you can't afford the diamond size that she wants right now, but you still want to create a ring that she loves, and you want it to symbolize your relationship and what this marriage is, this foundation of your marriage. So you could mention a future ring upgrade would be possible when you're in a different financial position. Alternatively, you can have a conversation about natural diamonds versus lab-grown diamonds, because the pricing for labs is considerably less than a natural, and it may result in the size that she actually wants within your budget. That said, though, if she loves the idea that a natural diamond was made by the earth, gosh, over 1 billion years ago, yes, that's billion with a B, and that now it's gonna live on her finger, then she's gonna have to decide what matters most to her. Chemically, physically, optically, they are the same as mined diamonds, the labs, but the main difference is just how they're grown. And as an artist, I don't really have a strong opinion on them one way or the other, as they can both be absolutely gorgeous for a custom ring. It simply makes just achieving a larger diamond much more accessible within different budget ranges. I've had some clients absolutely love lab diamonds, while others they say they can't get excited by them for whatever reason. So if you're tempted by lab-grown pricing, it's important to talk with her in advance about whether or not she'll be comfortable with that, since it is newer to the market. And as I said, some women are totally on board with them and others aren't. They would actually rather a smaller natural diamond for the same budget. But here's what it all comes down to. This is a ring that is going to mark one incredible moment in your life as a couple. So it's going to hold incredible meaning. A colleague shared a story recently about a couple that came in to pick up their custom ring, and the timeline was tight since the husband wanted his wife to have it before he passed away, since he's just very sick. And they both started to cry when they saw the ring for the first time, just because of what it represented. And it's been making me think about one of my family members who works for a nonprofit, and he referenced me being in a business of commodities. And I can understand why one would wonder if working in the jewelry industry is really helping anyone in a meaningful way. But I explained, I'm not in the business of gold and diamonds. I'm in the business of creating and honoring love stories, no matter what the price point is, because gosh, jewelry, it's not gold, platinum, and diamonds. It's symbolism and memories and love. And I've sat across from widows holding their hand as we discuss repurposing their treasured wedding ring to just carry on its sentimental value and honor their marriage, just holding space for their grief and being someone that they can trust. And I think about a pair of earrings that belonged to my grandmother that when I wear them, somehow, I can't explain it, I feel closer to her. And my mom, she gave me a necklace to melt down several years back that she never wore anymore, and I don't know why, I couldn't bring myself to melt it. So last summer, my family went through this really scary ordeal where she had to have brain surgery, and I was so glad that I didn't melt it down, because if something had happened to her, I would have wanted to wrap myself in that necklace that she had once worn. And I've heard so many stories like this from people. So when it comes to an engagement ring, it's beyond the sum of its parts. There's just this promise attached to it. And that's why I always feel so honored when a client commissions me to create their custom ring, whether it's for an engagement or a milestone anniversary, or just because it's time and they've put it off for so long. And it's what it represents. That's what I'm getting to. So bringing this back to what it costs and how much to spend on your diamond ring, yes, the materials to create the ring come with a cost, but ultimately that's not what it's about. My recommendation would be to choose whatever number feels most comfortable for your life situation. And if you're looking for your very own custom ring, feel free to reach out to the studio here at vanessanicole.com. I would love to learn more about what you're looking to create, and I would absolutely love to exceed your expectations. And if you like this video, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, because that's going to tell YouTube that this is something they should watch before getting a custom ring. And this channel, it honors meaningful relationships and creativity and an appreciation for the time it takes to achieve fine craftsmanship through beautiful artistry. So by watching these videos here, you're going to be surrounding yourself with these uplifting values that encourage excellence. So if those ideals resonate with you, definitely subscribe and leave a comment below saying hi. And in the meantime, I'm wishing you just a beautiful rest of your day. All right, take care. Bye.